Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay Anderson again. We did another video that you received a few days ago, and it was very frazzled. So we're doing another one today that's going to be a little bit more controlled. We don't have a lot of girls around us practicing their cheer stuff, so we're going to get started and make this kind of simple and easy for you to understand. So I have already done her complexion makeup. So we did, it's very important to use a priming spray or a lotion primer. I do both just to make sure it's going to stay. Bless you. I did a lotion primer first, and then you let that sit and soak in for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I sprayed her face with a little bit of priming spray and let that dry. We did just a light coat of foundation, and then we did a little bit of highlighting concealer under her eyes, and then we did a waterproof concealer on her eyelids to act as a primer for our foundation. So very simple. You don't want it to look caked on, but it does give your makeup something to stick to, which is nice when you have a little bit of foundation on. So I already did one side of her cheek with blush. It's very important that, we are going for a more natural look this year, but that doesn't mean that you don't put a lot. Once the girls get on the mat, the spotlights wash all of their makeup away. So you actually want to put a little bit more makeup on them. When you see them face to face, you go, whoa, that's a lot of makeup. But when they get on the mat, it all gets muted down. So don't be afraid of that. So I like to take the blush, and I actually like to pat it in the skin, and it makes it look a lot more natural. And you kind of carry it up a little bit, get a little bit thicker on the apple of the cheek. Hold your face straight. A little bit thicker on the apple of the cheek, and carry it up like that. And then I take just an empty brush and just kind of blend it in with the rest of her face. So now you can see her cheeks are very, very pinky, but that's going to show up like a flush cheek on the mat. So don't be afraid of that. So the next thing we're going to do is eyeshadow. So this is the part, the eyes kind of scare people the most. So will you slide that over? Thank you.
You want it over there?
No, it's fine right here. I just need this out of here.
Are you using the eye cream?
Okay, so you're going to take the very lightest color in your palette, and you're going to put it all over the eye. This is going to be our blending color. We're going to use it to highlight.
I'm going to use this.
We're going to all over the eye, all over the lid. I even like to take a little bit right here in the middle and create a little bit of a shimmer right there in the middle, coming down to the lower eye. So can't really see it. It's just a nice little base coat. Then I'm going to take the darker color. So I'm going to take the darker color, and I suggest starting out just kind of pressing it. You're going to look in the outer half of that. Keep your head down like this so they can see. So we are making a triangle using kind of her crease line as a line to follow. And we're filling in half of her eye. Keep your eye closed so they can see. Filling in half of the eye. You actually want to kind of carry it up and out with the lash line. And that's going to kind of open the girl's eyes up and carry it up and out. And we're going to blend all this stuff in a minute. Like, that's the important part, is the blending. Now the golden color. I actually like to take my finger and just get a little bit of this golden color, and that's going to be your in-between. So you're actually kind of making like a Neapolitan ice cream. You've got the lightest color in the middle. In the inner eye. You have this golden color in the middle, and then you have the darker color on the outside. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to take a clean brush, like a brush that doesn't have any eyeshadow on it, and all I'm going to do is kind of wiggle it back and forth and blend this up and out like that. Okay? So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Sorry if y'all can hear our dog barking. So filling in this outer triangle. Carrying that up and out like that. Patting with the gold in the middle to blend those together. If you want to do a brush, you can certainly take a brush. I recommend just kind of patting it in there, like pressing that eyeshadow into the lid like that. just like that. See that? It doesn't look that great when it's just like this, but it's going to look really good once we do the eyeliner and mascara. All right, just like that. Can you get a little close? Close your eyes so they can see. I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter color again up here under the arch of the brow and blend it in with that dark color so they really blend in together out there. Just like that, easy peasy. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick that you can do with the darkest color. You can take a pointy brush, the pointing end of your brush, and get a little bit of that dark color. I need you to look up, Stella. This is where her eyes roll back in her head. All right, be real still, stop. Don't make that face, stop. And then I'm going to take that dark color about halfway over on that eye, and it creates an eyeliner. This gives them a little bit of definition in their eye without it being way too bold. Stella, you crack me up rolling your eyes back in your head. All right, stop. So get a little bit close. See how there's a little bit of a definition under their eye, but it's not like over the top. Okay, the liquid liner. This really makes a lot of people nervous. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so close your eyes, sis. I'm going to take the pointy end of my liquid liner and I'm going to set it on,
It's really cold.
I know, well, I don't know if they're going to be able to see it. I'm afraid my hand's going to be in the way. All right, close your eye.
Go to the other side.
Stop, just hold your head down. We're going to try. So I hold the point out there and I set the pen down and I carry it across. You want to get it as close to the lash line as possible because you don't want to have a gap in between those two things. I know y'all can't see. I'm probably covering this up with my hand. All right, open your eye. Open your eye. It's a little bit harder to do on somebody else than it is on yourself. So close your eye again. So you older girls, I know you'll be able to do this on yourself really easily. All right, open up, let me see. So on the other eye, I start on the inside with my pen more upright, and then as I get towards the outside, I'll lay it down. You want this to be a nice, bold line, because like I said before, if you do a little bitty thin one, it's going to disappear. I hadn't eaten breakfast, so I got the shakes. And you want to kind of carry that out into a cat eye, like a wingtip. Let me see. All right, I don't know if you can see that. And we're kind of carrying that out a little bit, creating almost like a triangle. Outside carrying into the bottom lid a little bit. Be real still. All right, there we go. All right, one of my favorite tips, one of my favorite things to do, to use, I know she hates this part, is this. I know you probably can't see it. This is from L'Oreal. It's called their Voluminous Primer. It's an eyelash primer. It goes on white, see, and then it dries clear, but it actually is going to give you a great first coat, especially with these little girls. It gives you a good first coat. It helps you pull the lashes away from the skin without making a big black mess all over their face. So the best thing to do is have them lift their chin, but then look down at you. And then you kind of hold their eyelid up and just give them a nice little coat of mascara like this. On both sides, obviously. Okay, now for the bottom lids, you want them to tuck their chin and then, not that much, and then look up at you. And then you see I'm holding it upright to kind of wiggle it back and forth to get some product on there, and then I gently brush it down. So this is the part if you get, tuck your chin a little bit. There you go. This is the part if you get a little bit on their skin, it doesn't matter because it's going to dry clear, but it helps you separate these little bottom lashes that are so fine and close to their little eyes. All right, so we just let that dry. And then I go do lips while we let that dry. So our lipstick this year, it is a lip color. It's not a lip stain like we used in the past. It's a long last lipstick. I kind of recommend using a liner with it, just like a a neutral liner, because it's going to give you something to fill in, especially with these little bitty lips. It's a little bit hard to do on little bitty tiny lips like this. So this is a really new liner. You do not have to do this at all. I just like to do it with Stella because she's got little bitty tiny lips, and it helps open your mouth just a little bit. And it helps give us something to fill in. But the lipstick does have a point on the end. Eventually, that's probably going to kind of go away as we use it more and more. But you can use the point of this to kind of line around the lips. So you're going to just take this, kind of press it in. And if you have to take your hand and kind of warm it up on your hand a little bit to get the pigment going, you can do that as well. So this, because it's not like a stain like we had last year, this will rub off. So I kind of recommend you not doing this until you get to the competition. Do all of your other makeup at home, kind of do like this. All right. Be real still. All right, so see, it's like a berry color. Open your mouth. So we're gonna let that stay on there for a little bit, and we'll do the gloss on top after we do mascara. Another little trick with mascara is to stick it under your armpit, or while you're doing your makeup, or across your legs, stick it between your legs, stick it in your shirt, to kind of warm it up a little bit. It makes it go on a lot smoother when it's warm. So just like a little side trick. All right, so same thing. You're gonna tilt your head back and look down at me. So we're just doing a light coat. I like to start with a light coat of it and then do a second coat. All right, and just look straight ahead. Yeah, don't open your eyes. Look straight ahead that way. Yeah. And if you do get mascara on their face, or on your face if you're one of the older girls, let it dry first. Don't try to wipe it while it's wet, because mascara actually comes off a little bit easier once it's dried on your skin. So when you do it wet, it just smears it. But if you let it dry, you can kind of use a Q-tip and kind of flake it off. Okay, so I'll do another coat after the video, because y'all don't need to see me watch me do that again. So we're gonna take our gloss next for the lips, and this is gonna create a nice shiny lip. Hope it's gonna help this stay on like this. It's thick, isn't it? All right, kind of pat that together. Makes it nice and shiny. One more thing you can do, especially like these light-haired girls that their eyebrows don't really show up very well. You can take a brow gel. I don't know where mine is. Or like a light brow pencil. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let me see this light brow gel. You can take just a light brow gel just to kind of comb them. Give them a little bit of shape. and we're coming up on one of the very most important steps is using a finishing spray. It's very, very, very important that you get a finishing spray to spray on your face. It's gonna make it last. And
But what about we have to do the second coat of...
I know, no, I'm gonna do that off the video.
Yeah, but like, don't you have to do that?
No, it doesn't matter. All right, close your eye. Feels really, really wet. It's gonna make them jump, but it's gonna dry, and her makeup will look just like this when she gets done with her competition. It's gonna last all day long, and we'll have trouble getting it off at the end of the day. So I hope this helped you. Oh, the last thing, and I don't have it here with me, is the little tub of glitter. So you can do the finishing spray. It's actually a great time to do after the finishing spray when their face is a little bit damp. Take a little bit of that glitter on your finger and pat it kind of around in a C around their eye like this, kind of right here.
You could also use
Here, I've got a cream highlighter. I'll do this and then we can do the glitter later, so we can show everybody. So just take it and pat it right here around their face. This is going to kind of make I don't know if you can see that on video. You want to do a C. I get right here on the top of that cheekbone.
You can kind of see it.
You can take a little bit, put it right up here in the hairline. That's going to make their face glow up there. A little bit on their nose. And then even a little dot of it on their chin. And that's going to make their face just really stand out on the mat. All right, there you go. If you have any questions, I'm always around. You can find me on Facebook, and I can answer. Don't make that face. And I can answer any questions for you. So I hope this helps, and I will see y'all at the competition.